This is a Hangar 9 Ultra Stick. It's got a DLE engine in it. We're gonna see what it do on a IX. Oh, this is an NX8 Plus. DLE 30 in it, folks. Upside down. Wondering if you're going back up.
Yeah, I'm just playing with the flaps.
Gotcha.
It's a cool feature on this airplane. It really makes it fun for landings and takeoffs.
So anything you'd want to tell people about this bird? This is not a fairly new kit though, right? This is something that's been around.
No, the Hangar 9 Ultra Stick's been around for a little while now. But you know, the combination with the DLE 30 engine on it, or 35, you know,
it looks like it's quite torquey though. Is this what I'm seeing, torque?
It's got a little bit of power, you know, it's got a little torque to it, you know, but it's just a great fun weekend airplane, you know. I mean, take it to a fun fly and just have a blast with it, you know. And it has no bad tendencies. It's not a 3D airplane, but it's a great sport flyer. And I have a lot of fun with it. It's one of my go-tos when I come to the field. And kind of helps you loosen up a little bit too, you know. And,
yeah, prepare for the hard stuff.
Yeah. But I am flying it today on the new DX8 Plus, and which is just a great little transmitter, you know, for this stuff here, and has the additional channels, you know, for extra features and stuff. And I set it up finally with the flaps, and that's it's kind of what I'm doing today, just playing with it with the flaps and seeing how it does. This first landing I'm gonna do right here is gonna be half flap, and it's got 10% down elevator in it to compensate for the flaps. And then I'll do a full flap, which goes to 20%. You can see it's pretty stable.
Yeah, look, so effortless, realistically.
But I want you to see the difference between full flap and half flap. So right now it's at half.
Yep.
That's full.
Wow.
And if you look at the elevator where it compensates from
Yeah,
the flaps,
I see it. I see it quite a bit.
so I'm gonna do a full flap takeoff and then go to no. Nope. And it'll lift right up.
Oh yeah, nice. Very smooth.
And that was about 3/4 throttle. And this next landing, I'm gonna do a full flap. Okay, flaps are deployed. And it really kind of puts the airplane on a heading, you know, a nose down heading a little bit, to where it makes it a whole lot more stabler, you know.
Now, Dave, you're one of the most respected experts, and I'm like one of the brand newest. But I feel like when I'm using flaps on a day like this, when the wind is coming across my shoulder, I feel like it turns the bird into me. And I see your aircraft is constantly, you're starting in the middle of the runway, and you're ending up on the side next to us. Is that a fact? Is
Well,
it really doing what I'm, because that's what I feel like is happening.
First of all, I'm a grass flyer. I've always liked grass runways. I don't mind the concrete runways so much, especially with the smaller airplanes, with the smaller wheels and stuff like that. But, you know, I just, you know, when you're dealing with any kind of winds, whether it be crosswind or downwind or anything like that, you just got to be ready to compensate. And like today, we got a north wind, but it's got a little crosswind to it as well.
Yeah, right over the shoulder. Yep.
You just kind of get on that rudder a little bit like that, opposite of the wind direction, you know, and that's going to allow the airplane to stabilize and set up straight. And you just kind of hold that pressure on that rudder a little bit until it kind of gets in that threshold to where you want to set it down. And having the flaps on this airplane here is almost useless, but it's a lot of fun to have and play with. You know,
Always fun. Yeah, everybody loves to see flaps deployed.
Another short field takeoff.
Yeah, that was about 3-4 feet.
But this airplane, man, it's just so much fun, you know. I mean, anywhere as I fly it, it's just my go-to for warming up and just cutting up a little bit. And man, it'll literally fly for about a good 10 minutes on a tank of fuel.
Yeah, we're at about 9 minutes already.
I got a 13-ounce fuel tank in it. You can hear my timer now. It's finally counting down.
So, how is it temperamental at all, or does it care much about CG? Is it really?
Well, yeah, that's one of the things about this airplane. They give you a couple of different ways to set it up, you know, with the servos in the rear and also the servos in the front. So with the servos in the rear, you do have to compensate with a little bit of extra nose weight.
Is that the way you set it up?
That is exactly the way I set it up. When I get on the ground, take a look at the rear servos, and
versus putting them right in the cockpit there, correct, where you put all the weight forward.
Yeah.
Which I actually, to be honest with you, I prefer the servos in the back. You know, less problems with linkage. You know, when they break, they're easy to get in and out. You know,
yeah,
it's the most direct method, I think.
One of the things I do like is what you just said, is it makes it a lot easier to access them and to you know, maintenance them, adjust them, things like that. You know.
Yep.
But also, with that being said, you know, with the airplane, with the servos in the back, it does make a difference on the balance, and not a whole lot of difference, but I did have to add 2.5 ounces of weight to the nose, and that compensated, you know, really good. And man, I mean, it's a stick right out of the box. They fly great.
Yeah, you know, that's the word I get from most everybody who has one loves it.
And very little needs to be done. And I'm running the 1810 Zorp, the laminate prop, which is a real good rigid prop. You know, they hold up really well, unless you touch the ground, of course. You know, but they do really well. And yeah, 13 ounces of fuel. You could fly 10, 12 minutes on it. I set my timer at 9. I'm usually, okay, had enough by then, you know, so, but yeah.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Dave.